Hi and welcome to the Round the Rock race briefing for 2020. So I'm going to give you a quick course breakdown to start with. As you know, the Ultra is 48 miles. It's an anti-clockwise loop of Jersey, probably about 25% road and 75% trails. It's a marked course, so we go out and we will actually mark the course for you prior to the event. So where there are decision points, there will be markings for you so that you don't get lost. It's quite an easy principle really, and it's something that we sort of say every year, but if you keep the C on your right, you can't really go wrong. If it's on your left, you're definitely going the wrong way. Having said that, stay vigilant whilst you're out on the course, so keep your eye out for signs, because they can be easily missed if you're plugging away in the zone. So just keep an eye out for those signs. Please don't drop litter whilst you're out on the trails, and please do give right of way to other people using the cliff path, and be nice. If you do encounter any other runners who are having a bit of trouble, please don't leave them to struggle. Just check that they're okay, particularly if it's a hot day, because they might be struggling from heat stroke or dehydration. So just check how they're doing. If they're okay, then just maybe run on and just make the next marshal aware that there was someone out on the course who's struggling. Obviously, if they're not very well or they're doing quite badly, if you can just stay with them and just give us a ring. My number will be in the email that sort of accompanies this video. At the aid stations, now obviously with the COVID-19 pandemic currently in operation, we've had to sort of change things slightly. We just ask that at aid stations you employ a nice sort of common sense attitude. We will be providing hand sanitizers. Obviously we'll be trying to ensure that everybody is socially distanced, so remain 1 meter apart from people. We will be having bottles of water there for you, and it'll also be water in containers. Now, the way this will work is if you've got bottles, obviously the volunteer will fill it for you, but you must hold on to the bottle. So you take the lid off the bottle, put it under the tap, which in the container, and then the volunteer will open that up and obviously fill that for you. There will also be bottles of water, and there'll also be Coke. This is a cupless race, so you'll need to bring your own plastic water containers for Coke and so on. And we'll also be providing snacks on the checkpoint, so that'll be crisps, sweets and flapjacks. These are meant to sort of be a calorific top-up. This is designed to be a self-sufficient race. Because of the pandemic this year, we've decided to make it 2 drop bags rather than 1. So there'll be one at checkpoint 2, which is La Fontaine, and there'll also be a drop bag facility this year at Beauport, which is the last checkpoint. So if you need any additional calories, like sandwiches and those sorts of things, please put them in those bags, clearly mark which one is going to which checkpoint, and mark it up with your race number. We will ensure that when you get there, those bags will be there for you. As far as the start line, obviously again due to COVID-19, we'll be starting in waves this year. We've decided that at 6:30, 7 and 7:30 a.m. we'll be starting 35 people off at each wave. We'll also be marking the course so that there'll be 1 meter dots on the start, so that everybody is socially distanced at the start. If you're in the 6:30 wave, we ask that you don't arrive until after the 6 o'clock wave has left. We have a obligation to ensure that there are no more than 40 people in one place at one time in Jersey due to the current state of Jersey guidelines. As you can probably appreciate, we've got a lot going on that day, and we'll find it difficult to police that. So we just ask for your cooperation in that, and just arrive 5 minutes after the previous wave has left. That'll give you enough time to do your drop bags and do all those things. We can do a quick race chat beforehand, and then you guys are off, and then you won't know it any different from the race at all. Okay, as far as the race check-in, that's going to be on the Friday night. We're going to do that from 4 till 6 p.m. and that's going to be outside Big Maggie's cycle shop, which is in sort of the business area of St Helier, just down on the waterfront. Yeah, we'll be giving out the t-shirts and the race numbers there. Obviously we'll be employing social distancing there as also. Race check-in in the morning then. So like I said previously, if you can arrive 5 minutes after the previous wave has left, just have your 2 drop bags clearly labelled with your race numbers and which sort of checkpoint that they're meant to go to. We'll take them from you and we shall put them in our van and take them to the relevant checkpoints for you. And then we will then obviously transfer them to the finish then upon those checkpoints being closed down. At the finish line, once you've finished your race, we ask that after you've kind of gathered yourself, after your mammoth effort, that you please travel onwards quickly, as again we have a maximum amount of people that we can have in one place at one time, which is 40 people. I know that normally we would have a bit of a gathering, we might have a couple of beers and we'd have an award ceremony in the evening, but unfortunately this year that's not going to be able to happen, much to our sadness, to be honest, because that's a big part of the race. But we thank you to comply with our request on this front, because again we just need to make sure that there aren't more than 40 people in place in one place at one time. Okay, so a quick few lines about the other races that are taking part on the day. So obviously we have the Ultra, which is the 48-mile race. We also have a marathon and a half marathon, and also the relays, the 2-man and the 5-man relay. So the marathon will be starting at La Fontaine, which is checkpoint 2 of the Ultra. That will start at 9 a.m. We also have the half marathon, which starts at the Water Splash in St. Juan's, and that will start at 11 a.m. The relay race will start at the same time as the Ultra. The relays will start in wave 1, and the changeover points for the 5-man relay will be at each of the checkpoints on the way around the island, and the changeover point for the 2-man relay will be at La Fontaine. We've got a few requests about the mandatory kit list, so I'll just break that down for you. Obviously, it's a trail race, so we ask that all runners wear trail shoes. It's in August, so it's likely to be hot, so we would ask that people have a sun hat or some kind of protective thing for their head. And we'd also ask that people have sunscreen or are wearing sunscreen. It's mandatory to carry a water receptacle, to carry at least 1 litre of water. And a cup is also required should you require Coke at checkpoints. We are a cupless race, and this is obviously trying to encourage or to minimise the use of plastic. You also have to have enough calories to see you between each checkpoint. Now, like I said before, we are providing snacks on the checkpoints, but it's up to you to provide the bulk of your calories to get you through the race. You also need a charged phone with my telephone number in, should you need to reach me. My number is 07797 827 383. Spare layer of clothing in case of inclement weather. Now, you may think in August that it's lovely and warm in Jersey, and generally it is, but should you get into any difficulty, it's just good to have something if you get a bit cold that you can just put on whilst you're waiting for help. And also 1 or 2 drop bags, which we've discussed further if you do have any further nutritional requirements. So we're looking forward to seeing you. I know there's quite a few people travelling from the UK also. We've got a few questions about things to do with tests. So obviously at the moment people arriving in Jersey are subject to a COVID-19 test. The tests are coming back within, I believe, 12 to 24 hours. So please allow enough time to travel in and to get those tests before you come and do the race. We won't be asking for those test results, but we hope that if either you don't receive your test or you are tested as negative, that you obviously follow the States of Jersey guidelines and minimise contact with other people as much as possible. We've got enough going on during the day to police that, but we do ask that you comply with those. I believe at the moment, like I said, the tests are very efficient, and providing you're getting in on a Thursday or so, you should get those test results back in plenty of time for the race. We're really looking forward to seeing you and welcoming you to the Round the Rock. It's the 10th year anniversary. It's going to be great. We've got about 130 runners. We're looking forward to meeting each and every one of you. I know there's quite a few guidelines and things that we've had to put in place this year, but I'm sure that nonetheless it's going to be a really good race, and it's actually my first time organising the race, so I'm hoping to make it a special one. If you do have any further questions about the race, please do feel free to drop me an email. My email address will just be going across the bottom of the page now. Looking forward to seeing you, and race well.